10 common relationship issues between couples. Hi friends. Welcome to Marriage Realities, a comprehensive relationship channel. Today's video is all about the 10 common relationship issues couples face in the married life. When relationship issues creep into your married life, you feel unhappy and miserable. You had never dreamed in your wildest dreams that you would face relationship issues with your spouse. You had always dreamt that your married life would be smooth sailing and peaceful. But you're shocked when many relationship issues creep up between you. You're emotionally devastated when many unwanted qualities enter your married life. Do not worry. Relationship issues are common in any marriage. You should only worry when your relationship issues take root and becomes a permanent fixture in your married life. Shall we now have a look at the 10 common relationship issues between couples? The number 1 relationship issues between couples are lack of compatibility. After a few years of marriage, you find it impossible to be compatible with your spouse. You find many things about your spouse not according to your liking. You find faults even in the tiniest behavior of your spouse. You constantly fight with your spouse for almost everything. Both do not adjust to each other. As there's no compatibility between you, your married life turns miserable and unhappy to you. The number 2 relationship issues between couples are lack of attention. When you do not pay attention to the emotional needs of your spouse, he or she feels lonely and neglected by you. And when you do not pay attention to your spouse, all his or her good characteristics will escape your notice. When you do not observe your spouse, you will miss his or her emotional needs. Most of you are attentive towards your spouse before your marriage, but scarcely pay attention to him or her after your marriage. Not paying attention to your spouse turns into a grave relationship issue as you make him or her feel left out. The number 3 relationship issues between couples are money matters. You often clash with your spouse regarding money. It is because your way of dealing with money is in exact contrast to that of your spouse. You do not understand that it is common to have diversified views about handling money. In most marriages, couples have contrasting views about dealing with money. While one is a saver, the other is invariably a spender. Instead of mutually discussing about the ways to handle the money you earn, you often lock horns with your spouse about it. The number 4 relationship issues between couples are infidelity. Cheating is one of the most traumatic relationship issues. It is because your married life will be stable and firm only when there is loyalty between you. When loyalty bids goodbye in your married life, everything good about your relationship is lost. When your spouse cheats you, you are unable to digest it. You feel furious that your spouse had belied your trust and had been having fun behind your back. When infidelity becomes a reality in your relationship, it will be quite impossible to save your marriage. The number 5 relationship issues between couples are stress and tension. In today's modern age, you lead a hectic lifestyle. And you're always in the rat race to earn more and more money. You're also under intense work-related pressures. Your energy level is dangerously low. You're so stressed that you often blurt out in anger against your spouse. As your spouse is also under great tension, he or she retaliates with venomous anger. Now, your stress and tension intrude into your married life, destroying the peace that should exist between you. The number 6 relationship issues between couples are lack of appreciation. Appreciation is a simple relationship technique which makes your spouse feel that you are not taking him or her for granted. Yes. Your spouse wants you to appreciate him or her to make him or her feel valued by you. You also want your spouse to appreciate you. But after a few years of your marriage, appreciation becomes non-existent in your relationship. You begin to take your spouse for granted. It is because you feel that your spouse is only doing his or her duty and that there is nothing to appreciate about it. This is your grave relationship blunder. When you become unappreciative, your spouse feels that you are using him or her. This is not good for your marriage. The number 7 relationship issues between couples are trying to change your spouse. You do not understand that your spouse is an individual with his or her way of doing things. You also do not realize that it is a right due to him or her. The gravest mistake you could commit in your relationship is trying to change your spouse according to your liking. You want your spouse to dress the way you like. You want your spouse to behave in a way you like. You want your spouse to be a yes sir to you. What you do not understand is that your spouse does not like your attitude a wee bit. The number 8 relationship issues between couples are social media. Social media is wrecking many marriages. It is because you spend more time in social media than with your spouse. You're so glued to your mobile phones and laptop that you scarcely notice the presence of your spouse. Needless to say, your addiction to the social media creates untold anger and resentment in your spouse. You also share many of your personal pictures in your social media account. A quality your spouse dislikes in you. Unless you use social media within limits, it could cause limitless relationship issues between you. The number 9 relationship issues between couples are selfishness. You cannot afford to be selfish in your relationship. Your marriage will always be about you and your spouse. It will never be about you alone. But when you are selfish, everything about your marriage is concentrated on yourself. When you are selfish, you make your spouse feel unloved, uncared, and rejected. The number 10 relationship issues between couples are unrealistic expectations. Most of you have dreamy expectations about your spouse when nothing can go wrong between you. You feel that your spouse would always be demonstrative about his or her love for you. You're shocked when it does not happen. You also assume that your spouse will always be open and frank with you. This also does not happen in your marriage. When one expectation after another crash to the ground, you're very unhappy in your married life. Can you see how relationship issues between couples develop? Unless you nip your relationship issues in its initial stages, it may destroy your marriage. Your marriage means a lot to you. Do not make it meaningless by giving undue importance to unwanted relationship issues. Did this video make you understand the common relationship issues that creep into your married life? Marriage realities will have many such relationship eye-openers. Subscribe to my channel to understand your marriage in a new light. Press the bell icon for updates about my latest relationship videos. Make love forever until death do us part, your relationship goal.